and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hi, what's up? I'm Gemma and I talk a lot about user experience and user interface design. If that's something you're interested in, why not hit that subscribe button? For today's challenge, I'm going to redesign the PayPal summary page. Well, I call it a dashboard, but they call it a summary. So that's what we're going to do today. So I've screenshotted my own PayPal and I've taken out all my information because I spend a lot of money on makeup and that's pretty much it. We're just going to have a quick run through the actual PayPal dashboard. We're going to redesign it. So I use PayPal all the time and I find PayPal pretty easy to use, but I don't really log into my actual PayPal account. But sometimes when I do, it's nice to get a little summary and get a little view of my dashboard. I kind of like the way it's laid out since they did the whole redesign a couple of years back now, but it hasn't really changed since. And I think it could do with a bit more, well, not so much like an update, just like there's some elements which I find a little confusing from a UX perspective. And I'm just going to run through them pretty quickly. So you get this little bit here, which is your PayPal balance, and normally there's a nice big number here which tells you how much money is in your PayPal account. Great information. Then you get this little recent activity block. If you click the arrow, you can go and see a huge list of all your activity, and it normally says when a payment was taken, who it was paid to, and how much. Then if you come over to the right hand side, you have these quite important actions. So this will send money to somebody and this is the action to request money from someone. Then you fall into this more category, and I'm not too sure what you can actually do in this more category. Maybe I should have clicked it before doing this video, but I didn't click into it. Well, this is normally known as like a no-no in the UX field, that you don't really have a section labeled more because it's not really informal to the user. And this stopping their tracks and you're asking them to click into something when they shouldn't really need to. The label should be clear and concise and tell them what this action does. And you see this quite a lot throughout the whole system, where you get these three little dots. Now, through user testing, which what I've experienced in user testing, users don't actually really understand what these three dots mean. We use these quite a lot. We use them as navigations. If you click this, you'll normally get some sort of actions, which you can see here in the send request again. Yeah, these three dots are actually quite useful, but do they tell users what they can do? Not really. And it's the same down here with the bank accounts and cards as well. You got these three little dots. I do think that all this information on the right hand side is getting a little bit lost, and that's something that I want to bring forward a little bit. You can see here that the PayPal balance and the recent activities are on these really nice looking cards, and it brings the information forward. And then anything on the right hand side is getting a little bit lost. And then you also got these little call to actions which appear here and there. Apply for more credit. So we have the same thing, I think, twice. I'm not sure. I don't really pay attention to these things. That's what I'm saying. All this information just seems to get a little bit lost, and I think they should be mainly on these type of cards as well to bring them a bit forward. Nice little welcome message as well, which I think is kind of nice. I like personalization. I like when my systems ask me, how am I doing today? And hi, Jen. Overall view of the current PayPal dashboard or summary, whatever we're going to call it. So over here, I've made a map of what I would like to do today. So I did kind of like the way that PayPal have already got one set up, and I don't want to change too much because I haven't done any user testing. I don't know if there is any reason to change anything. This is just my personal opinion and what I've experienced with using PayPal and what I think can make my personal experience a little bit better. In the real world, we would need to do some user testing and get some feedback from the users in order to make type of changes. So I don't want to do like a huge change because I don't want to lose the aspect of PayPal, and I'm sure they've done a lot of research to why they've done certain things, but I think what I'm going to do is going to add a little bit more impact. So I'm going to keep the welcome message at the top. I'm going to add in the make an impact, so that's what the charity bit was. I'm going to bring it up a little bit and put it here. I'm going to keep send money request here, but I'm going to keep it on this card to bring it forward. Same with the bank account, so I'm going to bring that forward as well. I'm still going to keep my PayPal balance at the top here, and then I'm going to put the recent activity down here. I'm going to keep the top level navigation, and then over here I'm going to add in a nice little photo to bring back that personalization, and I'm going to keep the settings icon and also the notifications icon. So here's my overall map. That's what I'm thinking about, and let's get started, shall we? Hello, and welcome to VoiceOver Gemma. So I thought I'd give you a little voiceover and just try and talk through a couple of decisions I made while doing this redesign. So I decided to use the kind of PayPal colors to represent the navigation, and also use a little image as well to pull in the personalization or profile photo. So as I suggested before, I decided to have these little card type elements to the design, and that was in order to bring information forward. So as you can see here, I'm just fighting with myself and just the alignment in general, and just trying to put some aspects together and just adding the elements together as well. I wasn't too sure on what type of colour to have for the buttons, and I realised I was using the dark colour a lot, so I decided to use the lighter blue for all clickable elements. And you'll see this throughout the whole redesign that I used the light blue specifically just for clickable elements. Using the same card background again, I decided to move that down to the send money request, and then added in the blue aspects. And again, just gonna align these up so they fit perfectly. Decided to move out the two little options which were currently in the three little drop downs, and brought them forward as well. And of course, you can't forget those nice little icons that PayPal use, so I brought them in as well. That I forgot this little part, and then added it in again. So this is the send money and receive money. Okay, so we are currently at this point. So brought in some colours, I brought in like these little drop shadows going on. Still got my welcome message, the little call to action which I have here. I brought the make an impact up here, so it's not so much in your face, but it's still clear enough for it to be brought forward. I did have a look at this area. I did realise after doing this in my map that I kind of forgot about this area, and also I didn't realise that these two elements are the same when you view it in PayPal. So if we just scroll back over to here, I didn't realise that this was the same because this didn't actually have a title here. It had this little send again thing down here. So I kind of split them off, and now they're a bit more clear, so they come forward a little bit. I've also added in clearer labels, so it says send money, request money, or more options. So when I was looking at this, I couldn't really find an alternative of what to call this option. So I've just brought this over from my PayPal so we can have a little look. So if you hit that more section, what comes up is donate to a cause, create money pool. A lot of options in this section, so now I understand why they called it more. But I didn't think that more was enough, so I added in the little tag to say more options, because I couldn't group these. I thought about it for a while and I just couldn't think of a group because they're all so different from each other. So yeah, I would love to do a bit more research into this and try and like come up with a different aspect, but again, I don't work for PayPal, so I don't know their business requirements or anything along the lines of that, so it's kind of difficult when you're just trying to improve on what's already there. But I do think what we're getting at right now is a little bit more clear to what it currently is. I feel like things are a bit more easier to find and a bit more, you know, out there and also laid back onto the background which they have. This is where we are, and yeah, let's keep going. Using the same elements that I used for the previous cards, I decided to bring those back down as well and use the two little options which are currently in the dots for Get Help and Go To Bank Account and Cards. And then I brought in the Visa logo to represent cards and added in the information accordingly. After I was happy with this layout, I decided to copy them over because there was more than one card on my account, and then also change the top one to bank account. And also I did make the little Visa disappear and add in something else in this place. So little B I thought was the best solution there. And then obviously I still needed to confirm my bank account, so I just added in a nice little confirm icon here just to let the user know that the bank account needs to be confirmed. Sure that the balance itself was really prominent and basically the biggest bit on the whole page itself. And this was just a simple table which contained the date, payment and the overall price. Once I was happy with the layout, I duplicated everything to make it more like a table. And this is it. This is the final product. So let's zooming in and let's have a little look of what we got here. Personally, I think it still looks very PayPal. It still kept to the true layout, but I just added in a bit more life to it, a bit more visual impact as well, so you can see a couple of things. I renamed the summary to dashboard because I feel like dashboard is more of a commonly known term, but it's just a personal preference for me. Added a little notification dot up here so I know I have some notifications. As we scroll down, still keeping with the welcome message that says welcome Gemma, which is always nice, so I like a little personal preference there. And I brought the make an impact at the top as well, so it's not so much in your face, but it's there if you need it, and straight away it's just like, oh okay, a nice little message, but it's not overly involved in your face, which is what I was going for. As we come down a bit, the PayPal balance right now, and then it's just saying it's available. I can transfer money by using this button. Here was 3 dots, but I decided to bring in a little hamburger menu because I feel like hamburger menus are more commonly known now thanks to responsive and mobile design. So hopefully that's enough for the user to know that that is an option. If you click it, there's actually a menu inside. So when I clicked mine, I noticed I could do a lot more things. So add in this little menu bar, and hopefully that will allow users to understand what that means. And then we spoke about this previously, so we got send money, request money, and more options. So I just gave them a bit more commonly known labels. Send money again, so these are the people that I've sent money to previously. I can manage my contacts, or I can send to others. This is what I was currently in those 3 little dots. I just brought them forward. My bank account, so I need to confirm my bank account right now. And then here's my 2 cards. I can add another card, I can get some help, or I can go to bank accounts and cards. Again, these are the options that were in those little menu, which again, I don't think you need the menu because it wasn't that many options in there, so we can bring that a little bit forward. Then moving on to recent activities. Again, I didn't really see the need for the arrow because I can just hit here, which is view all activity, which was already on PayPal. Right away, I can see my recent activity, and then I can view all activity. So this is where we came from, and this is where we are. Thank you for coming along on this journey with me. I really enjoyed it. It was actually quite nice to sit down and do some visual design. I haven't had the chance to do this in a while, and it was nice just to show you my process. If you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I also have an Instagram. You can follow me here at Heli-er Studio. I talk a lot about user interface design, user experience design, accessibility, inclusive design, and a lot more. I hope you have a great day or evening or wherever it is, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye.